Christian drove straight over his wife, Leonora. She was still moving a little, so he put the truck in reverse and ran over her again. This time she stopped moving. Only then did he leave the scene. After that, Christian went to his company and casually chatted with his employees on purpose, just to build himself an alibi. Once everything looked normal, he went home. He poured himself a drink and tried to calm down, but the moment he turned around, his dead wife was standing right behind him. Completely fine, without a single scratch. He froze. What on earth was going on? This is to go back 1 week earlier. Leonora had come to Christian's office looking for him, and that was when she caught him cheating with his assistant, Zania. Christian was still lying there with his eyes closed, completely unaware, while Zania noticed Leonora right away and answered her with nothing but a mocking smile. Leonora did not say a word at the office, but once they got home, Christian gently told her that he wanted a divorce. Leonora asked if there was another woman. Christian denied it, but Leonora immediately revealed that she had already seen him getting intimate with Zania, and she made it very clear that Zania had looked her straight in the eyes without a trace of fear. Then the conversation took an even darker turn. Leonora brought up the money Christian had been embezzling, and she revealed that she had already discussed it with her lawyer. Since she could also end up dragged into the case, the only way to protect herself would be to report him to the police. Christian tried to justify himself. He said he only did it because of their son Johan, who had been sick for a long time, and whose treatment cost a fortune. But Leonora was not willing to accept that excuse. She reminded him that she had already suggested taking out a loan, and that she herself could have returned to her music career to help with the money. Instead, she had given all of that up. From the very beginning of their marriage, they had agreed that Christian would focus on earning money, while Leonora stayed home and took care of Johan. She had sacrificed her own future for the family. But now that she knew Christian had been unfaithful, all those sacrifices felt pointless to her. And in her mind, it was already too late to start over and rebuild the music career she had left behind. So in the end, Leonora gave Christian an ultimatum. He had to end things with Zania, or she would go straight to the police and expose the embezzlement. At the construction site, Christian later talked with his colleague Peter about the scheme they had been running together. They had been manipulating currency exchange rates to make a huge profit, which was obviously illegal. And to make things worse, their taxes were a mess too. Not long after that, Christian met Zania in private at their usual place and told her that things with Leonora would be over soon. Zania was thrilled to hear it. She was so happy, in fact, that she immediately asked Christian to come meet her parents that very day, and Christian agreed without hesitation. Later, after returning home, Christian helped Kim float a bonfire platform out onto the lake as part of the preparations for the midsummer celebration, which was a common tradition in Denmark. While they were working, Christian admitted that things at home were a complete disaster. Leonora refused to let him go and was threatening to expose everything about him. Kim could relate. He said he had once gone through something similar when his ex-wife threatened him during their divorce. But unlike Christian, Kim had stayed calm and did nothing reckless. Instead, his ex had ended up spending time with friends who supported her decision to leave. Because of that, Kim suggested that Christian should try talking to one of Leonora's friends. Maybe that person could help convince her to accept the divorce. At the same time, Leonora watches Christian and Kim talking from inside the house. Sitting alone in the room, she stares at an old family photo and quietly cries. But that sadness slowly turns into something else. The moment she remembers Zania's mocking smile, the look in Leonora's eyes sharpens, filled with resentment. Not long after that, Leonora secretly follows Christian when he leaves the construction site. To her surprise, Christian ends up meeting one of Leonora's old friends, Cassandra, who owns a shoe shop. During their conversation, Cassandra mentions that she has not spoken to Leonora in a long time. That is when Christian learned something he never knew before. Leonora once had a boyfriend named Mike, who died years ago after falling from a cliff. Cassandra does not know the full story, but rumors have circulated for years. According to what people say, Leonora might have pushed Mike after discovering that he was cheating on her. Meanwhile, Cassandra's own marriage had fallen apart as well. She eventually divorced her husband after finding out he had secretly married another woman and even had a child with her. From Cassandra, Christian manages to get Sonia's phone number. Wanting to learn more about the past, he drives to the very cliff where Mike died and calls Sonia while standing there. Sonia explains that on that day, she and Mike had been hanging out in the forest together. She admits that they were secretly having an affair and that they had even gotten intimate there. But during that moment, Sonia had the strange feeling that someone was watching them. She could not see clearly who it was, so she was never sure whether it was Leonora or someone else. Later, when everything was over, Mike walked toward the edge of the cliff to get some fresh air. Suddenly, Sonia heard him scream as he fell. Just before that, she briefly caught a glimpse of Leonora leaving the area near the cliff. While Christian listens to this story on the phone, something even more unsettling is happening nearby. Leonora herself is hiding among the trees, secretly listening to the entire conversation. But the moment Christian turns his head in her direction, she has already disappeared. Later on, Christian visits Zania's parents. Unbeknownst to him, Leonora continues to watch his every move from a distance. A few days later, Christian brings up the rumors about Mike's death, suggesting that Leonora might have pushed him. Leonora immediately dismisses the story as nothing more than slander. Then she gives Christian two choices. He can leave the house and go live with Zania, but if he does, Leonora will report the embezzlement to the police. Or he can stay in the house and keep their life intact, but only if he ends his relationship with Zania immediately. With no good options left, Christian calls Zania. But the moment she answers, he cannot bring himself to say a single word. Instead, he simply hangs up. Not long after that, Christian openly admits that he truly loves Zania. Hearing this makes Leonora furious. She forces him to leave the house and declares that the house now belongs entirely to her, including the Mercedes. From that moment on, they even end up switching cars. Soon after, Christian heads to the office. He deliberately leaves his phone there and makes sure several employees see him, carefully setting up an alibi. Then he takes one of the company's white vans and waits along the road where Leonora usually goes jogging. Cornered and desperate, Christian finally loses control. This brings us back to the very beginning of the story, the moment when he runs over Leonora while she is jogging along her usual route. Christian intentionally leaves the body there, making it look like a hit and run so that the police will not suspect him. Afterward, he uses Leonora's car wash card to clean the van and erase any evidence. Once he finishes, he returns to the office and tries to act normal, greeting his employees and hiding the panic building inside him. When Christian finally returns home, he sits down and talks with his son Johan, who is preparing for his final exam the next day. Everything seems normal until Johan casually asks where his mother is. The question clearly catches Christian off guard, because only moments earlier he believed he had just run over his own wife. After that conversation, Christian goes to take a shower. Alone in the bathroom, the weight of what he thinks he has done becomes too much to handle, and he breaks down in tears. But then something unbelievable happens. Leonora suddenly walks into the house, completely alive and unharmed. She has just returned from jogging, but this time she took a different route. That means the woman Christian ran over earlier was someone else, someone who just happened to be wearing a red jacket similar to Leonora's. Christian is left in shock. At the same time, police lights pass by outside. Someone has already discovered the body of the woman he hit and reported it to the authorities, and Christian never had the chance to hide the body. Meanwhile, Leonora notices that Christian seems strange and asks why he came home earlier than expected. Christian refuses to explain anything for now. Instead, Leonora suddenly tries to get close to him, hoping to prove that Christian has forgotten about Zania and only wants her now. But Christian turns her down. His mind is completely overwhelmed after everything that has just happened, and he cannot sleep at all that night. The next morning, he goes out alone on a small boat in the middle of the lake, trying to calm his thoughts. Later that day, Leonora switches cars with Christian again. Their relationship seems slightly better for the moment, and Christian is supposed to drive Johan to school for his exam. Not long after, Kim arrives with some disturbing news. There was a hit-and-run accident on a nearby road the previous night. Hearing this, Christian immediately becomes nervous. He quickly leaves to take Johan to school, while Leonora, curious about the incident, goes to the scene herself. There, she learns the truth. The victim was a woman with 3 young children. The case is now being handled by Detective Holger and his partner. While examining the area, Holger briefly notices Leonora watching from a distance. The next day, during Johan's graduation celebration at home, Holger and his partner pay the family a visit. They ask Christian and Leonora where they were 2 nights earlier, around 10:30 in the evening. Leonora says she was out jogging. Christian claims he was still working late at the office and cannot even remember exactly when he got home. With nothing concrete yet, the detectives eventually leave, but not before giving them a business card in case they remember anything related to the hit and run. Meanwhile, Zania keeps sending message after message to Christian, frustrated because he never replies. When Leonora asks about his relationship with Zania, Christian lies and says that everything between them is already over, and that he wants to focus on fixing his marriage. Later, once the celebration is over, Christian secretly returns to the site of the hit and run. The place is now filled with flowers left by the victim's family and friends. Standing there, Christian feels an overwhelming sense of guilt. 3 children have lost their mother because of him. For a moment, he seriously considers turning himself into the police, but then he looks at a photo of Johan on his phone. If he goes to prison, Johan will be the one who suffers the most. At the same time, the news begins reporting on the case. According to witnesses, the vehicle involved in the hit and run was a white van. Meanwhile, Leonora is washing her car when she suddenly notices something strange. The balance on her car wash card is completely empty, even though there should still be money left on it. When she checks with the staff, she learns that the card was used again on the exact same night the hit and run happened. Leonora immediately suspects Christian. Once she is allowed to review the security footage from the car wash, the truth becomes clear. The footage shows Christian cleaning a white van, the same kind of van mentioned in the news report about the accident. Without wasting any time, Leonora confronts Christian and shows him the recording. At that moment, everything clicks into place. She realizes that her own husband had intended to kill her, but ended up hitting the wrong person because the victim was wearing a jacket similar to hers. Leonora is overwhelmed with anger, disappointment, fear, and disbelief. Furious at what Christian has done, she immediately calls Detective Holger. But before she can reveal the truth, Christian quickly grabs the phone from her and pretends to be a witness who saw a white van during the hit and run. After the call ends, Christian desperately tries to stop Leonora from going to the police station. He attempts to calm her down, but Leonora refuses to listen and storms out of the house. Christian is left behind in complete panic, unsure of what to do next. Not long after, Detective Holger and his partner arrive at the house. Johan is asked to stay in his room so he does not have to hear the discussion. Christian then claims that he saw a white van on the road during the incident. He even adds that the license plate looked foreign, possibly from Romania. Later, Leonora sends Christian a message asking him to meet her that night at 9 o'clock in a seafood restaurant. This also means she has not reported him to the police yet. At the same time, Holger cannot help noticing how nervous Christian seems. The detective begins to suspect that Christian might actually be responsible for the hit and run, but for now, he still needs solid proof. That night, Christian and Leonora meet at the seafood restaurant. Leonora explains that ever since she left the house, she has been thinking carefully about what Christian did. At first, she considered sending him to prison. After all, the 3 children who lost their mother might feel some sense of justice. But Leonora also realizes that she is not a judge who gets to decide what justice looks like. If Christian goes to prison for murder and embezzlement, their son Johann's life will be shattered. On top of that, Leonora also fears that if Christian is left alone, he might try to kill her again someday. Christian can only apologize and promise that he will never do something like that again. Then Leonora makes a shocking demand. She wants Christian to kill Zania. In Leonora's eyes, Zania is the root of all the problems in their lives. As long as Zania is still alive, Leonora believes her life will always be in danger. Before this, Christian was willing to kill Leonora because of Zania. Now the situation has completely reversed. This time, Christian must kill Zania for Leonora, and she even offers to help him do it. At first, Christian thinks she must be joking, but when he sees how serious she is and realizes she could still report him to the police at any moment, he has no choice but to agree. Leonora then explains that they will need a very strong alibi to avoid suspicion once Zania's body is eventually found. With a chilling smile, Leonora finally admits something even darker. She confesses that she really was the one who pushed Mike off the cliff years ago. She had discovered his affair with Sonia long before that day. When she caught them being intimate together, jealousy and anger took over. But Leonora had already prepared everything. She had arranged a perfect alibi by playing the violin in her school's music room, making it seem as if she had been there the entire time. After pushing Mike off the cliff, she quietly returned through the window and continued playing the violin. Soon after, a music teacher came in and saw her practicing, which provided a witness who could confirm that Leonora never left the room. It is safe to say that Leonora is an extremely intelligent woman, but also someone with a deeply manipulative and dangerous mind. Soon after that, the plan to kill Zania begins. The goal is to make her death look like the result of a robbery. First, Christian and Leonora check into a hotel near the vacation house where Zania is staying. Later that afternoon, Christian quietly leaves the hotel by climbing down from the balcony, making sure that no one sees him leave. When he arrives at Zania's place, he apologizes and explains that things have been difficult at home lately, and that Johann has just graduated from school. But Zania is still angry and refuses to let him in. When she keeps the door closed, Christian ends up breaking the glass to unlock it from the inside. Zania tries to scream, but Christian quickly covers her mouth and tries to calm her down. At the same time, back at the hotel, Leonora begins setting up their alibi. She turns on the bathtub faucet, calls room service to bring food to the room, and pretends to be speaking with Christian as if he is still in the bathroom taking a shower. Meanwhile, Christian and Zania sit down together and start drinking wine while talking. According to the plan, Christian is supposed to kill Zania at the exact moment Leonora sends a message to Zania's phone using Christian's phone. The message would say that he cannot continue their relationship because his family means everything to him. But when the moment comes, Christian cannot do it. He still loves Zania too much, and instead of carrying out the plan, he ends up getting close to her again. Back at the hotel, the room service employee arrives with the food. Leonora continues her performance, pretending to call out to Christian as if he is still in the bathroom. They have even prepared a recording of Christian's voice mentioning where his money is kept. The recording is played just loudly enough so the hotel employee can hear it, reinforcing the illusion that Christian is in the room. Every detail of the plan has been carefully arranged. Later that night, after Christian and Zania have spent time together, Zania goes to the bathroom. When she notices that the window is open, she suddenly sees Leonora appear out of nowhere. Without hesitation, Leonora attacks and stabs her. When Christian rushes into the bathroom, he is shocked to find Leonora standing there, covered in blood. Leonora had already known that Christian would never be able to kill Zania himself. In the end, she takes matters into her own hands. Christian is devastated as he realizes that Zania is now dead. The next day, Christian and Leonora return home and continue their lives as if nothing has happened. Meanwhile, Detective Holger and his partner begin investigating Zania's house, which appears to have been robbed. The broken glass at the door suggests a break-in. However, something feels off. The entire house is completely clean. There are no stray hairs or fingerprints anywhere, which strongly suggests that someone carefully wiped everything down. Even more suspicious, several items are missing, including Zania's computer, wallet, and phone. But the strangest detail is that Zania herself is missing as well. Her body is nowhere to be found. After discovering that Christian had sent a message to Zania the night she disappeared, the detectives decide to visit him. Holger explains that there was a robbery at Zania's home and that she is now missing without a trace. He also asks Christian about the message sent from his phone that night. Christian admits that he did have an affair with Zania, but claims that their relationship had already ended. According to him, Leonora has forgiven him because problems like this sometimes happen in a marriage. Leonora backs up the story and adds that the two of them were staying at a hotel on the same night Zania disappeared, something the police can easily verify. Even so, Holger remains suspicious. If a robber had broken into Zania's house and possibly killed her, why would the body be removed from the scene? the question does not leave his mind. Because of this, Holger orders a search operation. Police officers and tracking dogs begin combing through the nearby forest, hoping to find any trace of where Zenia's body might have been hidden. At the same time, the midsummer celebration begins. When Christian hears the sound of the police tracking dogs in the distance, he quickly asks Kim to help him light the bonfire right away. He uses the excuse that rain is expected soon according to the weather forecast. Together, they take a boat out to the middle of the lake where a large pile of branches has already been prepared for the celebration. Right at that moment, several tracking dogs start barking loudly along the edge of the lake. Their reactions suggest that Zenia's body is somewhere nearby. And they are absolutely right. Zenia's body has been hidden inside the pile of branches, placed there so it will burn along with the bonfire and destroy the evidence. As the fire grows stronger, the scent disappears, and the tracking dogs eventually lose the trail. From a distance, Detective Holger watches the scene and briefly feels that something is not quite right, but at that moment, he cannot be certain about anything. Later, Christian and Leonore realize that human bones require extremely high temperatures to be completely destroyed. Because of that, the very next day they make a drastic decision. They sell their house and move away, taking what remains of Zenia's bones with them inside a bag. In the final moments of the story, the truth about Zenia's fate becomes clear. Her remaining bones are eventually thrown into a remote lake deep inside another forest, far away from anyone who might ever find them. So the more